Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Ajwritescrypto, and welcome to another episode of No Sweat Bets. No Sweat Bets is our weekly Polymarket overview where we give you every money-making opportunity on Polymarket. Just this year alone, we've made over $250,000 sports betting, and most of that has happened on Polymarket. And if you go back and watch every episode of No Sweat Bet, you will realize that we have been correct about so many things on this show, and I know that the followers of this show are super grateful for a lot of the picks that we've made. And this episode I'm about to give you right now is slammed pack of amazing picks that are just literally for either the next couple weeks or for the rest of the year. The first thing I want to talk about is movies. We all know that if you've watched this show that Minecraft has been my pick for the biggest opening weekend of the year. And it has been the biggest opening weekend of the year. And the only two things that could catch it is Zootopia, which comes out on Thanksgiving, and Avatar. And Avatar's first two movies didn't even come close to what Minecraft did. And Zootopia didn't even do 80 million its first week. But so Minecraft is still my bet. And if you bet $1,000 on Minecraft, you'd make, about $1,300 roughly. But this is what I want to talk about, is the highest grossing movie of the year. Not just what it did opening weekend, but what it does across the entire year. Lilo and Stitch is a sleeper pick on Polymarket right now. If you bet $1,000 on Lilo and Stitch, you will get just about $5,000. So why am I betting Lilo and Stitch? Well, first of all, Lilo and Stitch came out over Memorial Day weekend. And although Minecraft had the largest 3-day opening weekend of the year, because Lilo and Stitch came out on Memorial Day, it was the largest 4-day opening weekend in history. It even beat Top Gun for the largest 4-day opener of ever, not just this year, but in history. And also, in terms of the total amount of money made, Lilo and Stitch is only $1.9 million, just under $2 million behind Minecraft. But guess what? Here's the thing. Lilo and Stitch is still playing in theaters all across the country, just right here and locally in Delaware and Maryland. Look how many showtimes it has just for today since it's Labor Day weekend. So many kids are going to go see Lilo and Stitch on Labor Day weekend. Minecraft has been out of theaters for a while, and Lilo and Stitch is still in theaters. So if Lilo and Stitch just gets $1.9 million more dollars, it will pass Minecraft for the biggest money-making movie of the year. But why is it only 15 cents on Polymarket? Guys, I'm telling you, this is a sleeper pick. You get $1,000, gets you almost $5,000. One more thing. I like to research the top holders. So if someone bets on a topic, I like to click on the people who bet the most amount of money on any topic and do research on them. For instance, this guy right here, GoPFan5 is the account name or something like that, has made almost over $1 million this year on Polymarket. This guy is the top holder for betting that Lilo and Stitch will be the biggest money-making movie of the year. It's still playing in theaters. It only needs $2 million more to make, and not to mention it's backed by Disney. And Disney is going to continue to market this movie so they can say they had the #1 movie of 2025. I've done a bunch of research on this. All the stars are really aligning, and I'm telling you, I think it's a sleeper pick to basically 5x your money. I am betting Lilo and Stitch will become the #1 highest grossing movie in 2025. Lock it up. That's a no sweat bet.
The baby's finally asleep. Let's smash the like button, subscribe. Let's get back to it. The next two things I want to talk about are scalp plays on Polymarket. And this is the beauty of this platform and why so many people use it. If you bet on a football game, for instance, and you bet the underdog, say you bet their shares at 30, you buy their shares at 30 cents, and then they get a 2-touchdown lead and their shares go from 30 cents to 60 cents. You can sell those shares during the game, double your money, and it doesn't matter if the other team comes back and wins. That's the beauty of Polymarket. And some of the trades that I do on Polymarket are scalps, like this one I'm getting in, for instance. I am betting that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win the MLB championship. But just because I'm getting in this bet doesn't mean they have to win. I'm just saying I'm buying their shares at 10 cents. And as long as they get past the first round, those shares will go to 15, 16, 17, maybe 20 cents. I'll double my money and get out. Here's the thing. The LA Dodgers are favored to win. They're at, I think, 22% shares on Polymarket. And that's just because they won last year. The Phillies are actually ahead of them by 1 game. And if we actually wanted to bet off of who has the most wins, you'd go with the Brewers. You know what I mean? So, but my bet here is basically betting that I'm not saying if you bet 1,000, you'd win 10,000 if they go on and win the whole series. That's not my bet. My bet is that they make it to the playoffs, get past the first round, and then I want to see what the shares are at, and I might scalp most of my shares there or take my initial and then leave a moon bag for them to continue. Something like that, similar to what I'm going to do with the Philadelphia Eagles for the 2026 NFL season. In the past decade, I believe in the past 20 years, the teams that make the Super Bowl the year before have a 69% chance to return to the playoffs the following year. I like those odds, and I think the Eagles still have a squad this year. So yeah, I'm not betting. If you bet 1,000, you'd get 9,000 if they went on and won the Super Bowl again. That's not what I'm betting. I am putting in the bet, but I'm going to scalp that bet once they make it to the playoff, because then their odds will probably be 20, 25%. I'm doubling my money and getting out, and I'll still bet game to game. And keep in mind that I will be doing at least one NFL pick every single week on No Sweat Bets. There is not a bet available as of today for the kickoff game coming on Thursday with the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I would like to see the Eagles win, but honestly, the Cowboys have been out of the equation in terms of winning the Super Bowl for so many years, and I'm like a big narrative guy with football. Like, I'm not saying it's fixed, but I think football is more WWE than UFC. I'm not going to get into that argument, but I think it would be like a big upset. It would be a big story if the Dallas Cowboys beat the Eagles for the first game of the year. That's the narrative I see. So I'm still going to take a closer look at that game, and I will let you know on my live stream. My live streams are picking back up on Tuesday once we leave Maryland and come home. But I'm probably leaning towards Dallas just because of the narrative. But once the bet becomes available on Polymarket, I will be letting you know. Just to quickly follow up on 2 bets from last week, Mr. Beast to raise $40 million for clean water. That chart has gone from 60 cents from when I posted about it last week. It went up to 93 cents and is now currently back to 83 cents. And he basically has one day left to raise that 40 million with an 83% chance. Now, basically, if you got into the bet, you could scalp the profits that we got from last week, or you could ride it out. I hopefully think that Mr. Beast will raise the money for Team Water. Also, to follow up on my F1 bet from last week, as the race is tomorrow for F1 for the Dutch Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri is my pick. If you bet $1,000, this is how much you'll win. Those shares have gone up a little bit because he did claim pole position over 100th of a second over his teammate Lando Norris. Lando Norris is still in the battle, but as you know, I like Oscar Piastri to win the championship. Shout out to Team McLaren. They are cleaning up this year. The points are still very close, but I'm still rocking it with my guy Oscar Piastri. I got 2 more bets before we wrap up the show. Just like I said last week, I really like Carlos Alcaraz to win the men's tennis US Open. He dominated his first 2 matches. He's looking good. This is how much you'll win if you bet $1,000 now. I believe he's coming for Sinner. Sinner beat him at Wimbledon, but Carlos beat him every time before that. I think Carlos is going to reassert his dominance in the tennis world. I'm sticking with Carlos Alcaraz for that. The last thing I want to cover today is next week's UFC Fight Night in Paris. I am going to go into more detail on this card in next week's No Sweat Bet, since the fight is next week. Stacked card. I mean, Saint-Denis on the card, Bennett's on the card. I mean, this card is pretty stacked, and I'm going to probably pick 4 or 5 fights from the card. But the one I want to talk about is obviously the main event for the Paris Fight Night. Caio Borralho, dude, that guy. He's the king of the fighting nerds. He's on a 14 fight win streak. As you can see on Polymarket, it's basically a 50-50 pick'em, very close to a pick'em for this. I will be betting on the fighting nerds. I will do a Polymarket giveaway on Twitter for that fight when the time comes. Next week, I'm going to give you a lot more NFL picks. I'm going to go into detail on this UFC card, but know that I will be betting the fighting nerds on that one. And everybody, No Sweat Bets has actually changed the face of this channel. Obviously, we've been traveling. We've been all around in Maryland and kind of Pennsylvania, seeing family for the past week. I just had a daughter, as you saw in the beginning of the channel, beginning of the show here. And, it's important that she meets her aunts and her uncles and her cousins and everything. So we've been kind of taking some time, having some family time. So I appreciate your patience. We are going to start the live stream again on Tuesday. We'll be back on Orcas Island next week, back in the full crypto swing. But I really do appreciate doing No Sweat Bets every week. It gives me something to focus on, something to look forward to. I've kind of been not trading crypto as much. When I travel, I try not to trade when I travel so I can be present, because if I'm in a trade, I'm just focusing on the trade. But No Sweat Bets is something a little bit different because I can kind of talk about any topic I want to, rather than just talking about crypto. And although this is predominantly a crypto channel, that will always remain to be true, I really do enjoy the flexibility No Sweat Bets gives me, so I can talk about any topic I want to. And the fact that I've made over $250,000 this year betting on stuff, it would be a robbery for my audience for me to not tell you my thoughts on these things, right or wrong. Doesn't matter. I've been right way more than I've been wrong, and I really appreciate those of you that really like this specific segment. The diehards for this segment are the ones who kept it alive, and I really appreciate Polymarket for sponsoring a weekly show on my channel. It's really awesome for the channel, and I'm really good at it, so it's a win-win for everybody. So guys, and also, like I said, when it was only a 55 or 60% bet, will Polymarket go live in America? Now that's a 95% bet. And I'm telling you, I told you that, I'm telling you now, Polymarket is coming to America this year. So sign up with the link down below. You do have to use a VPN right now, but why is that different than any other crypto exchange we used for the past years when we had to get PAL IDs and all that stuff? The VPN days are coming to an end with Polymarket. Click the link down below. Get yourself signed up. It's coming to America. It is the best prediction market by a mile. It's not even a competition. The first mover advantage is real. I'm just very grateful for them sponsoring this channel, and for you guys, the diehards who have been following this since day one. Some of the best views I've got this year have been No Sweat Bet episodes. So let's keep printing that money. And remember, Lilo and Stitch is a sleeper pick. It's still in theaters. It's still in theaters and only needs 1.9 million more dollars to pass Minecraft. That turn 1,000 into 5,000. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to continue to keep heavily researching these types of opportunities, and you got them here first at No Sweat Bets. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, all the things. Appreciate you guys. And also, just a little bit of alpha here, we are going to start an additional Telegram group just for No Sweat Bets. There will be a discount, heavy discount, for people who are already in my existing Telegram group. If you're already in my trading Telegram group, you get a discount. But we are doing a separate Telegram for No Sweat Bets, probably starting in the next month. Because, on each show, I probably give, 5 or 6 picks. But I do a lot more than that, personally. And I know, just like with my crypto trading, people want to know what I'm looking at personally. So I think it's only right to do a Telegram just for No Sweat Bets. That is coming, just so you know. So I hope you're looking forward to it. Have a safe rest of your day. Get rich or get wrecked. Peace.